And we are on. Hello, Cindy
Hello
Midlife.
there. Good to see you, Danny.
Good to see you too.
Thanks for having me
So,
on.
yes. So tell people, well, before we get into it, we're going to be talking a little bit about some current events, very little, and then we're going to jump into Hollywood. So, Cindy, say a
Yep.
little bit about who you are and what's going on your channel. What is your
Well,
channel?
my channel is Cindy Midlife Psychic, or just Midlife Psychic. And I do videos kind of, forecasting things that may happen and kind of giving a little, how can we change our perspective on how we're seeing some things? What's the takeaway? And it's a kind of I kind of like spiritual storytelling with a moral. Like what's the moral of the story? And
Yeah.
I I um I do that work where I record the video, and I'm really lucky that I have my daughter is my editor because she's going into the film industry, which is part of the reason why we're chatting today. But the it's a really great way for me to share spiritual messages, have a great fun time creating, and creativity is such a big part of it. Creating that with my daughter and putting it out to hopefully inspire people. I might inspiration, hope, maybe a few laughs or two, and creating community. So that's I have Midlife Psychic YouTube channel. Yeah,
Yay, yay. And you do some political stuff too. You kind of mix it up a little bit
I
in
mix it
there.
up. I try to, and I know YouTube hates this because I'm kind of like, I'll just do what comes to me is what I read on, and sometimes it's political and sometimes it's not at all. And I've actually done a St. Patrick's Day one where I had, a leprechaun orb. So it just depends. It depends on what I feel the energy's around at the time.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I
yeah,
just did
yeah,
a live that had a lot of political, and I did one on the military, which um, was really interesting. Um,
yeah.
so, yeah.
Well, it's good to be alive today
Hmm.
because yesterday, who knows?
Yeah.
That was, it was Taco Tuesday, so I kind of thought that that's where it was going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. One of the things that you were talking about too before, see, my phone always dings when it's like you're on the right track, Danny.
That's right.
Um,
Spirit message.
when you said we were talking backstage where you said that some people are going, oh hell no, I'm not coming back to this earth school,
Hmm.
and we were talking. I said, I think I'm going to come back, but when I do, I'm going to put in my contract that I'm going to remember more of what I know now. And
Yeah.
you said, yeah, that is going to be happening in the future when we come back. That veil of forgetfulness is going to be thinner.
Exactly. It's
Or,
starting. It's already starting to. You can feel the effects of it starting to thin a little bit now, and it's not happening next week. But I feel like 100 years or so, that veil of forgetfulness is no longer a requirement on the earth plane. And so we can
yeah,
take some of those experiences with us. For whatever reason, it is part of the agreement that we have now coming here. And we did,
yep.
if you didn't read the fine print, always read the fine print, right? Yes, sorry. You got to read the fine print.
Never
So,
read the fine print.
yes. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where it adds to the experience in some way that we need at this point. At some point
Mm-hmm.
in the future, we won't need it as much. But I feel like
Yeah.
we're wrapping up this cycle where we really
Oh
do
yeah.
need that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. 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 Cool. Cool. Well, so people go subscribe to Cindy's channel.
Thank you.
Let's get into Hollywood.
Yes, and I'm sorry, my voice is still a little squeaky. I've got over this bug, the spring bug. Go away, whatever's going around. So pardon my voice, but yes. So I'm so excited because I love the entertainment industry and Hollywood, and And I know there's downsides to it, and there's a dark side to everything. But today is our break, and we're going to focus on the light side and how entertainment has been such a key. When you think back to when we were all shut down in our homes, and all what got us through a lot were some of those great series that we watched, or streaming movies, or things like that. It really does. Entertainment really is a great release, great therapy
Yeah.
sometimes. And so I think it's awesome. And when I thought of the entertainment industry, I know that, you may have dabbled it in the past, and I have dabbled in it in the past. And I thought, let's just read on it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. So my dabbling in it was I moved to LA to be in the entertainment industry and to meet my wife, probably.
Yeah.
Um, and then, it's so I've had a variety of things in my fingers in the pot, so to speak. Um, but you could, if you're in LA, everything revolves around the entertainment industry. Everything. So even if you get out of the entertainment industry, you're still dealing with people who are in it and all that. So you can't escape it. So you wrote a series of questions which I thought were great, but one of them was, what is the what do you think the history of LA as the Hollywood Mecca is? I mean, when you see that, do you see it thriving, or do you see it's had its time and now it's done?
I'm hearing revision and rebirth. And
Okay.
so right now is the revisionary period. A lot of entertainment has gone outside the country. There's been a lot of different places, other sides, besides Hollywood, like Georgia does a lot of studios. And I think it's going to be, like so many things in the world right now, it has to collapse to be rebuilt. So a lot of the
Yeah.
structures in Hollywood, like those big studios, I think you're going to see a lot of smaller studios, independent studios, um, starting to sprout up instead of these mega, all the mega money and all the control and all of the darker energy of Hollywood has got to go so the
Oh,
rebirth can
there's dark
happen.
energy. There's
Yeah,
dark energy
yeah.
in
There's a few.
Hollywood.
There's a few little negative things in
Really?
that. Yeah. Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. So I think it's. I do see a resurgence for it in the future, but right now it's going through that tear down.
yeah.
What do you see?
It's one of the things that when I was around it a lot, you could see um, that the state of California wasn't supporting LA as the movie capital. And so other places would give the studios and films a tax incentive to shoot in their
Hmm.
state. And so that was a problem, and I think that California feels to me that California is going to revamp some of its tax laws.
Yeah.
Everybody's revamping everything,
Yeah.
but it. I don't. I still think that there is going to be probably this is still going to be this one of the center hubs, but it's not the only hub anymore. And so you're
Yeah.
going to have up in Canada that are really going to be powerful, and on the East Coast too, down in what's the other right to work state? The Carolinas, is that it?
Probably. Yeah. Carolina, South Carolina.
I
Yeah.
think so. And anyway, not so much New York, but even though that's going to be a hub, but there's going to be. So I think there's going to be various hubs for filming, but the central part, I think, I'm still. Let's read on it. Is
Yeah.
that still going
It
to
was
be?
funny. We were talking. I pulled a card, and I think this is the perfect
Hey,
card.
What
because
deck are you using?
I am using the Light Seers Tarot. I thought we might use the Grand Lux today since we have a history with
Maybe.
that, but I'm
Yes.
today but this is what I see LA Hollywood as right now. Going inward and re-examining what is it that made it so special and having to find its light again. I believe it will. I feel like it's coming. It won't be the only place, but I still think if you look at this heart glow, this heart center, it's still going to be a heart center of creativity. There is, I almost feel underneath that area, underneath the earth there, that there is an energetic something. And I'm not into, I don't know about ley lines or portals and stuff like that, but there's something
What?
around the, there's
Let me
something,
explain to you. Come on, this will
tell
only
me.
take like a couple of hours. Let
Okay,
me
we got time.
explain. Okay.
Yeah. What were you saying about cheetah energy or something like that? Like there's
Jaguar.
a jaguar. So like there's an energy in that location too that I think will
Yeah.
always keep it there. What do you get?
Well, you got La Brea tar pits, you got dinosaurs down there. How come Pumpkinhead isn't going into the La Brea tar pits and pulling out oil? It's bubbling up from the ground down there.
Don't say it. It may
It's
happen now.
so I'm getting something very similar with Hollywood. The first two cards I got was the Nine of Swords. This is like, oh my gosh, there's just this sadness. And when I tap into this card, um, this is normally a fear card in the middle of the night, going, I'm scared. But their energy, Hollywood energy, they're going, where are we going with this? Is AI taking over? Is and but when I pulled this card, it felt like such a sadness. And I think when you were talking about the resurgence of the studios, it was such a male dominated studio that abused women and locked them into contracts. I mean, and the woman that popped into my mind is Judy Garland. I mean, that their lives are no longer theirs because they're being controlled by the studio machine. More film, more work, more film, more work.
Right.
Um,
Marilyn
and
Monroe
so,
too. Yeah.
yeah, and then it's being challenged or enhanced by the Temperance card, which is bringing balance.
Yeah.
So I did get the Ten of Swords, and I love this deck because this Ten of Swords is not stuck. It feels more like the Eight of Cups, where they're walking away from sorrow, walking away from this stuckness. They got strength, they got new information coming, and then they got the Page of Swords walking a tightrope with a new idea to get to another place. So they're definitely in this transition space.
Yeah.
And it's, we're backstage, we were talking about, because where are they going? Is it
They're going
ooh,
they're going to
ooh,
the woo, Danny.
woo.
What do you think of
They're
that?
going woo.
They're going to the woo. And you know what made me think of this a lot is that I made a prediction a year ago saying that we're going to start seeing more movies shifting into, less of that everything is a superhero, and it's going to be more like a little bit of the woo. And you're starting to see some of those movies and some of the series on TV. And
Yeah.
it really hit me with Disclosure Day when I saw Steven Spielberg coming back to revisit again, which I think he's got this alien connection. This whole thing
Oh,
about
you
aliens, and I think they're going to be shifting into a different. I don't know about you, but I don't need one more superhero movie. I think the audience is ready for something more, and there's a lot of
what
interest.
about Spider-Man?
No, no more, Danny. No, no,
No.
no.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
okay.
You can have Spider-Man, but then that's it. That's
Thank you.
it.
What about the Silver Surfer? He's kind of spacey. Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
All right, no more superheroes.
Okay. All
So
right.
the it's interesting. I was watching a movie last night, Fifth Element.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, you
Right?
are.
An old,
Yeah.
an old Bruce Willis movie, and I go, Fifth Element. I kind of saw that, and it's kind of a combination of superhero and sci-fi woo woo.
Right.
So it was, yeah. So with Steven Spielberg, you think he's an alien?
I don't think he's an alien. But here, and
Oh,
I don't know. I intentionally, before we do these things, I do not read on. I don't do any homework. In other words, I don't look up Steven Spielberg's past because I want it to come in organically. But when this movie came out, I I feel one day you're going to hear Steven Spielberg say, "I've had ET contact when I was a young boy. I saw, and I had it happen again as an adult, and I couldn't talk about it, but I could express it in these movies because everybody would have thought I'm crazy." And so with Disclosure Day, I think he's also coming closer to saying his own disclosure about, and I'm getting chills.
yeah.
I have an ET guide, I have an ET contact. Yeah, yeah. So, and I think he's going to probably say this has motivated my movies. I get information about my movies from this energy, and I think it's ET. And Disclosure Day is a I'm here, co-collaboration with an extraterrestrial co-writer, co, like they did it. He's going to say it was an energy that came in that he channeled, that they did it together.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you get?
There. Well, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. I mean, it's like, and this is how far I've come in this. I'm like, well, of course, he channeled an ET. I
Yeah,
probably
they worked on it together. Here comes
yeah.
all the ET info, and he's just, I don't know. There's something, and
See,
yeah,
and what I just heard is that he got teleported to a Waffle House, and that's where he met the ET.
that's where it always happens. It's always a Waffle House.
So yeah, 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 and um, I worked with his wife, which I thought was such a a strange combination. His wife's name is Kate Capshaw, and
Uh-huh.
when I said, "Is he an ET?" She goes, "No, I'm not saying he's an ET," and I heard his wife is an ET, and I'm like, really? Wow. So,
He's,
maybe
yeah,
that's where this connection comes from. And I'm not saying anything. I mean, she's a beautiful person. She's really lovely.
yeah.
It's so interesting. So let's
So
see.
I'll pull a rune on it too. I read the runes. I do
Do
this show
you?
called Cindy Runes It, and I have really been enjoying going back to the runes.
Awesome.
And let's see what the
I
rune
read
has
the
to say.
room.
You read the rune? That's always important, especially in the business. Okay.
You got, oh, I remember going up into, it was a meet and greet. It was kind of like a what do you call them? Just where you meet all sorts of different people. And we went up into the Hollywood billiard room. All these billiard tables, and there was all these industry people, and they're all rubbing shoulders, trying to make connections, networking group.
Uh-huh.
And I went in there and I read the room and I went, leave. And so I turned around and left.
Yes. Smart, probably.
Leave.
Very, yeah. That was that little that is that spidey sense that you had. You were probably like, I don't know what's telling me to leave, but I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, I don't know what told me to go there. It was like, if you want to make it, you have to. And then I went,
Yes.
no.
Get
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Run. Okay, so I got the rune Fehu, and this rune Fehu is about
Are you
money.
speaking English or ET language?
It's Gaelic. No, um,
Gaelic.
Fehu is money, wealth, luck, and abundance. And I think this has to do with Steven Spielberg. Every time he makes a movie about alien contact, it's always his most successful. He always makes a lot of money on it. It's always, he has a lot of luck with it. It goes well. I have a feeling the production went well. There's abundance with it. And I think it is the universe telling him, keep going with this. Every time you do it, there's a reward. So keep going.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Fehu.
I don't think he needs any more rewards. I mean,
But I
whatever
think
he
people
does.
in that industry are always driven by, and I don't think it's necessarily money. I think Steven Spielberg is driven by how many people went to go see it, what were the reviews, what did the audience think, how do I feel
Hmm.
about it? And I feel like he's evolved to how do I feel about it when I look at it now? He's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
matured a
yeah,
little bit. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I think that, when you start out, you're always about, the the views, how's it being received? And then
Yeah.
after a while, it's just like, let me just make a movie that I want to make. And I think he's been doing that. And you think of all his ET movies that are, just so for me going into the ET realm, if you drop in too quick, you get so disoriented that you're like you end up further back than you were. So they got to give it to you in little doses so you
Mm-hmm.
can take the awareness, or take I lost my word, but just understand it in little bits so that you can follow it and not be so disoriented. And
Right.
Steven Spielberg has let us do that
Mm-hmm.
in little bits, with third Close Encounters, ET, Disclosure, yeah,
Yeah.
even the Raiders franchise had a little bit of that so that you could step into this this world.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's backed into. So the three cards that I pulled from my contact deck is the pulsar. In this pulsar, it seems like it's flashing on and off, and it's getting our attention. So Steven
Mm-hmm.
Spielberg, just getting our attention a little bit, and then we get the black hole. And in this black hole, some people think that this is nothingness. This is everythingness. This is creator. This is source energy. And then the last one I get is Uranus here with the unconsciousness of it. So when you said, is he tapping into ET, um, uh, co-writing it with an ET, a galactic guide? Yeah, he is tapping into that ether, so to speak. Some people actually, like Dr. Gale, see him and talk to him and they have a conversation. But to me, it's part of that ether where we're all interconnected, and he is tapping into that singular ET ley line. I had to throw that out for you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Um,
Thanks. After, yeah.
you're welcome.
I
That
have some to
he
read.
that he just really draws a lot from. So
Yeah. And I get in this deck, that the Hierophant to me looks like those steps up, but it's not just ET, I think. I just watched a movie this weekend called The Big, Bold, Beautiful Adventure with Margot Robbie and, oh gosh, I'm gonna kick myself later. He's Irish. Um, and it was about the spiritual connection too. That movie was about
Mm,
spiritual connection to parts of like timelines. And if anybody's watching the show Paradise, I'm not going to give it away, but it's about some of that too. A lot of what's
yeah,
coming into our entertainment field is about spiritual connection and possibilities and probabilities, doors that we can go back through again and revisit. Like when we have a life review and we look at all of it, that movie was kind of like a life review. And
mm,
so more and more of it is people going out and meditating and going, let me write this script. Let me download this movie from higher self, from source, from a guide that is helping them, from an ET guide. And
yeah.
that is the way it's going. So as people are watching this, they're going to go, you know, Danny and Cindy told us that all these movies are going to be coming out, and that they were right for once, right? They were right for once. And I think it's because there is.
No, I've been right twice in my
You were right
life.
twice. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, psychic duck though, 100%.
Always right. Yes. So I think it's a great shift. It's a
Yeah,
definite shift. So
I think too that I was watching a Netflix show, and it was a really bad independent movie on an alien that came to Earth, and but I watched the whole thing, even though I'm going, this movie is bad. The
yeah.
the costumes were bad. There was no dialogue, which was probably good.
Hmm.
Um, but oh, are we going to go back to some silent films? What do you think? Do you think
I
silent film could make a resurgence?
I've seen something coming. Are you ready to go way out there with some of the? I
Oh,
don't see it being silent, but I do see it in a sense being silent. What you're picking up on. So I asked this question this before the show. I sat kind of meditated on it, and I see something really interesting with how we're going to take in our entertainment. Okay, so buckle up.
yeah.
Here's what I see.
Wait a minute. Let me finish. Let me, because I
Yeah.
can't leave that thing with bad movie, because it was good in a way
Uh-huh.
that it just brought my attention to, we're going to get more and more of these movies that are coming out that are
Uh-huh.
opening people up to, yeah, there's something going on. You know, there's
Yeah.
something going, and not maybe this community, this audience, but to the outside world, because there's certain people that I can talk to about galactic ET stuff. And then there's certain people that I can't tell because they go, you're crazy. Those people are going to be getting more and more information so that we crazy people can talk more and more openly about what we're getting and what we're feeling and seeing. Okay.
Oh, that's no, that's good.
Back to uh, what you were just saying with
Oh, yeah.
um,
So I see in the future that we will have these devices, and theaters will be a little different. There'll be like a little place that you can plug in this device that it goes over your eyes, but you also have something that goes in your ear, and you can decide how you want to see the movie. Do you want to see it in color? Do you want to see it in sepia tone? Do you want to see it with an iridescent background and add fairies to it? The viewer has some control that's pre-programmable in this thing that they are wearing into the theater. Do you want rock and roll background music? Do you want classical music? So there'll be some choice. Now the theaters will have to be restructured a little bit because each arm thing has this thing you plug into. But each viewer's experience can be very much individual. And what you can see with these little glasses
Oh,
is the movie, but the movie a version the way you want to see it. It's
do you have
trippy.
a trademark on this?
I
Because
should. You know
it,
what? Somebody makes this in the
it,
future. Excuse my cough. I can see
what's
it,
what?
Danny. I
What
see.
did you say? Wait a minute. What'd you say?
I said, excuse my cough. I was just coughing.
Oh, excuse your. I thought maybe
Yeah.
you cussed or something, and you say, "Excuse me, I'm going to go." No, I'm going to make you say it louder. So
Ah,
anyway, go
um,
ahead.
yeah, so it's going to engage people more. And I see it
Interest. Wow.
revitalizing. And it's just this, and I can see, um, and then we're also going to have these things in our homes. Not quite the same, but similar, where you can choose how you see
Yeah.
the movie and what kind of music, and it will be surrounding. I mean, it'll be on a screen, but it'll also be, I'm seeing this like it's surrounding you in some way.
Well, that
And what's
could be
really,
the AI glasses that you're that kind of surround you a little bit.
yeah, but in your home, you don't have to have the glasses. You do at the
Okay.
theater. You have to have this device. But I mean, it's all in the future, but I think it's really going to revitalize people's enjoyment. And so, in some
Well,
sense, yes, it's a silent movie because you're picking how you hear it.
yeah, yeah. So the thing, that is intriguing with me on that is what would get me back into the theater with other people? Because as I get more and more sensitive, I guess, introverted or whatever, I just don't want to be around a lot of people.
Hmm.
And even though I do, want to go to the movie theater a little bit, not much, I still don't go like I used to. That would get me, I think, into the theater and to have that communal experience once again, even though it's an individual experience.
Yeah,
That's wild. That's
yeah.
wild.
Isn't that? And I know. Okay, and another thing. Okay, patent, trademark, copyright. Okay, the other thing that I see, and this will be after that, is that the theaters will be set up for movies that people they have these devices, right? But they also connect where you can have teams of like kids can go in and play like this big virtual game through the movie, and they again, it's just
I don't know when that's going to be coming up. You said like way in the future. It feels to me though that things are shifting so fast in that area that this could easily be in our lifetime.
yeah. What do you get time frame wise? What do you get?
Unless we die tomorrow, then it's not.
Yeah,
But we didn't die yesterday,
yeah.
so
I think we're
yeah,
good.
I think we're good. As long as there's Taco Tuesday, I think we're good.
Okay, so let me see. Let me see what time frame wise.
Oh, you're going to try to go time frame-ish.
I'm gonna
Time
pick
frame.
time frame.
Hmm. Let's see. I'm going to try a little pendulum action here. Can you show me? Is this going to be within the next 10 years? This movie experience. 20 years? Well, I got a no for 10 and it started going yes for 20. So I'm just going to leave it there because it's kind of boring watching the
Okay,
pendulum.
so I got two eights. So that's either you'll start seeing it in 8 years or 16 years, or, but yeah, so maybe in 8 years, we're going to start to see the very first inklings of
Yeah.
something of it, or maybe
Yeah.
16 years is when it, so, and these
Well,
are
we
my,
have smell vision now, so
so, it's only, so it could
easily,
easily.
easily. So cool. All right. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
That's exciting. So let's look at one of the things that you put on there. Um, women in film.
Yes.
That was a big thing that
Uh,
started when I was in Hollywood, where they had, and I don't know if it started back when I was in there, but American Film Institute had this, excuse me, had this, I think they started around then, I'd have to look, and they would have these celebrate women in film. And
mm-hmm.
so, because it's such a male oriented, so are we going to see, here's what I'm feeling right now. Even though there are women in the industry, they're still being overshadowed, and that's not the right word. They're still being, they still have the male studio idea of how to run a studio in their head. Does that make sense? They're still
Yeah,
influenced by the old male
exactly.
dominated ways to run a studio.
Uh-huh.
Um, are we going to see a shift in, because I'm always seeing the divine feminine showing up in this time stream where
Right.
that
Yeah.
she brings the balance and the temperance. So are we going to see more of that and less of the old guard?
Well,
And
while you were
I go,
talking, I pulled some cards, okay? And I got
yeah,
the Eight of Cups, and this is women walking away from what no longer serves them. This industry has been brutal on treating women fairly. And so I think you're going to see women saying, you know, that contract that women used to sign? No, I'm not signing it. Equal work, equal pay, equal work, that type of thing.
yeah,
So I see the studios going, wait a minute, they're walking away from this. Yeah. They're walking away because they're sick of this. They're sick of doing so much work, making other people so much money, being so exhausted, and not being fairly compensated because they're stepping into their strength. This is part of that divine feminine. They're stepping into, you know what? You can't make that movie without a strong female lead. That's what audiences want. If you would like me to do the movie, here's my terms and conditions. And at the base
yeah,
of the deck, I have this because women are feeling wounded by this industry. They really are. But so, what did you get?
yeah. So one of the things too with the Five of Pentacles for me is the morality, the loss of morality, because that the figure in the card could go into through the door and find light, and in the Rider Waite, it's all about you could go into the church and you can get warm there. You can find a place to sit, and so to me, it was always that Five of Pentacles, as much as was about loss of financial gain, it was also you lose your morality sense. Certainly Hollywood, with the Weinstein thing,
Oh
I
yeah,
keep seeing that guy with his walker, and I go, is that fake? Is he just trying to do that for sympathy? And I hear yes, but
yeah.
yes and no. I hear a yes and no. But anyway, it's Hollywood, you gotta show to the cameras. Um, I think that definitely, I mean, my final card is the Ace of Pentacles for the women. So they are using their intuition. They are using the sword. They're bringing in more um, finances, new projects coming in. Um, I do get that they're going to be picking and choosing more of what they want. I do see him. I do see him as a balance in a partnership with the Two of Cups. It's not a total separation. It's just coming in and saying, you know what? Yeah, what you brought is a good enough base that we can work on. Got the Page of Swords. I'm looking at Errol Flynn swinging in,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, yeah. So, but it's the divine feminine swinging in to bring a better partnership to
Right.
this. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I do see women really coming in, and it's not the Barry Weiss is
Oh,
of the
okay.
world.
La 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 la. I can't hear you. I can't see that. Uh, yeah, yeah. And it's good. It's about time, right? That
Yeah. 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 So, pick a question
well,
from your list.
here's something that
You?
because my daughter's going into the business and she is concerned about AI. And there's a reason to be concerned about AI. AI is definitely going to affect all industries, but it could easily,
Yeah.
some of the things that she's like, it's a double-edged sword because some of the things that were hard for her to do are so much easier with the assistance of AI. And yet knowing that it was a human person that used to do some of this stuff, and it's like, so I thought it would be interesting to read if AI is it going to shut down the industry? Is it going to basically, um, we don't need anybody anymore. AI can do it all. Or
Yeah.
something else. What is it that what's the purpose of AI? And is it going to be I know a lot of people in the biz are dreading that they're going to be eliminated by AI. What are you hearing on the streets?
Well, certainly, yeah, with actors, they're going, hey, you're using, I mean, we see it all the time on
Hmm.
YouTube, and you can tell that it's AI. So maybe the script started out as a human script, and then it got modified with AI language, and you can tell that. And then
Oh,
they
it's
put it,
disturbing too, isn't it? Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
it's really creepy to me. And
yeah,
then they put it on, but it's getting so good. Excuse
yeah.
me. It's getting so good that it's that people are starting to ignore that it's AI. They're not looking for it, and they're just saying, "Okay, this is true." Yeah, you got to, I think, be really careful with that.
Yeah.
The certain things with AI, there's certain editing functions. One of my stints in Hollywood was um, and this was it. It's funny how things come to you, and you can
Uh-huh.
say yes or no. This guy said, hey, you'd be really good at this position, and it was for a non-linear digital editing system that won an Academy Award in Hollywood. So it
Wow,
was the
Danny.
first, I know, it was the very
Yeah.
first non-linear digital editing system. And he goes, you'd be a really good trainer, because I trained diving and I trained him as a diver. And I go, okay, well, whew, it's a little different training editors. And I worked with Star Trek and the spelling
Wow.
shows. And so I'd go talk to these editors, and it's amazing how unsavvy they were with computers. I mean,
Uh-huh.
it was, they didn't even know where the delete key was. And I'm going, you work for Star Trek. What's the
I
matter
mean, come
with
on.
you?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, but it was all made up. We don't really get it. We pretend we get it, right? Yeah.
We pretend we get it.
But but yet what you did helped them. It's technology that helped them, and yet so it
Yeah.
was good in that case, yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. So AI in that respect with certain things of editing, there's where I don't think that they're going to go with is when the editors are sitting at the table going, that cut needs to be 3 seconds later or whatever. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Because the continuity, the flow, the artistic vision doesn't make sense because it's too. So, do you think AI can get an artistic vision?
Oh, now we're
that
talking
will,
self. Yeah, now we're talking about it. Hmm. All
well,
right.
we can't just like surface code it. Come on.
Let's go and pull the runes on this one.
Yeah. Don't ruin it.
I'm gonna ruin it. I love
Don't.
ruining things,
All right.
and I'll pull a card too.
Can AI, hey, maybe I should pull out my runes and you can read them because I don't read them.
Oh, do you have runes?
Yeah, I just got another, I got 2 sets. And I'm
Oh, we
like,
should. Yeah,
I don't know anything about them
I
except
love them.
they're old.
I love them. Um,
I'm gonna go hang out
I
on your
got something.
channel and throw with you in the background while you're ruining it.
Yeah, you got to come on when I ruin things.
Oh no! I'm gonna sit in the chat or do
Oh,
something
okay.
because I'll trust me, I will ruin it.
No, you won't.
Okay, so AI, will they get the creative human touch? Okay, all right. What'd you get, Ruin?
Okay, so I got the rune Thurisaz. Well, I've got it. Sorry, wrong way. And this rune, and it's so amazing to me, Danny, how these things are so accurate. It's about change. It's a catalyst of change. It's
Mm-hmm.
also, though, can be known as a thorn. And
Known as what?
thorn, like a thorn,
A
like you get,
thorn. Okay.
like it's going to be a thorn in some people's side, but it's also going to be this catalyst of change. And the card that I got it is this, and it doesn't have any words on it, but look at all the creative expression in this
Yeah.
card. And
Yeah.
is it going to be able to be creative? Yeah. Yeah, it is. And is it going to be the thorn in some people's sides? Yes, but I also am hearing it's going to aid in creation for the human creators too. Like they're going to look at this and go, "Oh, now I'm motivated to create on top of that." Others are going to see it as
Yes.
a thorn. What do you get?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting to. Um, so I get that they're going to be working together. So humans, AI coming together. Some people, they're going to be, oh, this is a cool project. We're going to do this. It's going to be awesome. You got the King of Wands crossing it. So who is the king of information that's coming in? Is it AI? Is it, they're kind of going to be balancing this out a little bit. Who's the top dog? Who's the one that should be having more control, AI or humans? At the base of the reading is what you're talking about with the thorn, where things are going to crumble. People are going to go, hey, you're tearing apart the foundation. Even though in this deck, there's a big, strong foundation that's not being touched.
Yeah.
Some is being torn down, some isn't. Um, we have the Queen of Wands in the past, so we have both the King and the Queen showing up. So there's strong information. You have the Emperor at the top, which tells me this is more of a control card of, no, I want the control. AI, or is it humans saying, I want to control? Or is it AI saying, I want to control?
Uh,
I think it's
I,
humans saying,
I'm
go.
hearing that we will need to set up some guardrails. That there needs to
Yeah,
be some control of it.
yeah.
And I think that that's going to be humans going, yeah,
The final card is the Ace of Swords.
yeah.
So keeping it into singular, to new project, a new way forward. But yet there's got to be some guardrails, and I'm hearing on both sides. So it's just not limit this, but we got to limit this too, or rein in. So we can't just say no AI. We have
Right.
to allow that because it's already here.
Right.
So
And
yeah,
it really is helpful in a lot of ways. It can be, it's like anything else. It's how you use it, right?
right, right. In fact, I'm AI right now.
Wow. Very
I know
realistic.
I
But
had
I
to
could
be
tell
so
with your
careful.
lips. I could tell it wasn't really you.
I know I didn't want to tell you right now, but AI has to be, you know,
You know,
honest.
there is some perks about I saw a thing on AI where you can create your own AI avatar that looks just like you, and they had a guy that was like you couldn't tell the difference. But I thought, wouldn't that be nice on your very best hair day and makeup day to just go, I'm going to take a picture. This is going to be, you know, this is, and see, you got the hair too for it. And the very, your best day, and just always have that be. So it's the day where you're like, you've got, congestion or whatever, you just go, okay, I'm going to put my eye up instead, right?
Yeah,
There's some temptation there, but I just think it just always, the human brain can always tell. I think they'll always
yeah.
be able to tell.
If you pay attention, if you're like sensitive to it, if you just don't buy into it right
Right.
away. So
Discernment, right? Discernment.
I got a question. I don't know if you
Okay.
can answer this or not, but how do I phrase this? Do you ever have a bad hair day?
Oh, oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to share something with you, Danny. Don't tell anybody else.
I'm not going to tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. When I was in junior high school, Farrah Fawcett was the rage, right?
Uh-oh.
And so I thought what I would do is I would do a Farrah Fawcett hairdo. Well, when you comb through this type of hair, it just gets bigger and bigger. So I thought I was gonna be like Farrah Fawcett, and I did everything, and I just looked like this. It was just didn't work. And so my nickname in junior high school was Tumbleweed Head. Tumbleweed Head.
Sorry.
Don't tell. And so yes, I do, and I can never be Farrah Fawcett. You know, the scary thing is, as mean as it
No,
was,
but you can
it was
tumbleweed head.
it was pretty accurate though. It was pretty accurate. Because I look back at those pictures and I'm like, oh honey, what were you doing? I was like, it was not Farrah Fawcett. It was more like a giant tumbleweed. So yes, bad hair days. In fact, I have that kind of not happy, healthy hair right now, but yes, I do. How about you? You know, the hermit
No,
party.
my hair. I'm like the werewolves of London. Hair is perfect. Did you ever ride in Farrah Fawcett's Lamborghini?
No, I did not.
The best 3 minutes of any movie, if you're into Lamborghinis,
Yeah.
is oh no, I forgot the name. Holy crap, I forgot the name. Oh, I
Was
have
she in
bad
the
mental day.
was she in the movie in
Can
a
Cannonball Run.
oh, I don't think I've seen it. Yeah.
Hal Needham. It's just a Lamborghini flying down the road. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's good for 17-year-olds and tumbleweed
Yeah, Farrah
heads.
Fawcett. Was Farrah Fawcett it?
She was.
Ah.
She
Nobody called
jumps
her
out of
tumbleweed
the
head.
Lamborghini and X's out a 55 sign. Speed
Oh.
limits.
Sounds like you're having flashbacks right now, Danny, and you're smiling a
I am.
lot.
I am. All right. So let's do one more.
All right.
Um, what is the one more you want to read on? I'm looking at
Um,
your list.
I think we covered about is are what we some of the people getting channeled messages, and I think yeah, um,
So yeah, let's just go there and to this community that we're in. Um, let's read on what is holding this community back in general
Okay.
from getting channeled messages from their ET guides.
Oh, I just heard belief.
Okay,
Belief.
we're done.
Okay, that's it. All right. Bye, Danny. I get,
Believe.
yeah. Uh, belief. But
Yeah.
let's pull. Let's see if we get more.
I mean, and that is so true, because as soon as you go into that space, you go, I'm making it up, and I'm not. It's not a belief anymore. You're just going, no, I'm crazy. I'm making it up.
Yeah.
So whenever I tap into mediumship, the hardest thing for me is to believe that this is actually what I am getting, a discarnate spirit. And then you get the feedback and it's like, oh my gosh, I did. So it's all about belief.
Yeah. Yeah. I pulled a rune, and this rune is Jira. And it is the rune of peace, reward, harvest, and a year.
And a what?
And a
A
year,
year?
1 year or a cycle of a year. Now, this is a twofold message for people that are checking in here. The first is you need to be in a place where you're peaceful. You're not going to hear messages when you've got the dishwasher loading and you've got TV going and somebody's knocking at the door and the phone is ringing. You're not. You're going to have to be in a peaceful place where you can just listen for a little bit. And with that will come the rewards of hearing more. But in a year's time, it's going to be easier to hear because the volume from the other side is getting turned up so that we can hear. What do you get?
Yeah, yeah. First card I pulled using the contact cards is the Arcturus. And when you look at this, this is all about the archetypes. This is all about the big stuff that is there. And there's something that needs to be healed, I think, with our expansion, what we think we know. So this archetype energy, though, I think about that and I go, well, is that what's coming at us? The Arcturian energy of source energy that's all involved with our galactic guides. I think yes, and I think that we need to let some of our fears go with that, and just get ready for the expansion. I love your year card, your year, because we just talked about Steven Spielberg in his Contact movie.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying we're getting it, and it's the I just heard, what thinking about that archetype card, because I'm going, I don't know if I got that message right. And I'm hearing that the way that we perceive certain aspects of who we talk to in the ethers, we need to let that go. For example, I really held on to my religious upbringing, and that's how I talked to spirit through church, and that let that go. And
Good
what
point.
we're thinking and coming through, there needs to be not a total separation, but a division so that we can see things in a different way. In that galaxy card, I just see we're just opening up. We're just starting to
Yeah,
crack it wide open.
exactly. And you made a really good point about labeling it, because sometimes we get caught in that human need to label what this or that or whether, and I can sometimes feel different energies of like, okay, this feels more like maybe an ET energy versus higher self or a guide or
Yeah.
whatever. However, the message is, I think the key is, I know for some people that are maybe have a little bit of fear based around it that could make stem from some you know determined religious beliefs that are coming in, is that
And predetermined ET beliefs
yes,
as well.
yes,
Yeah. Okay.
is just
Sorry to
you could,
interrupt.
yeah, you could always just say, and every time I do a reading, I always ask for remove my ego and attachment to outcome, only from the highest and best vibrational energies of the light that come around me. And I
Mm-hmm.
call in my team in case I make a mistake or whatever to, hey, if somebody needs to go to the door, just show them the exit, and so I don't worry about that at all, right?
Right.
And I also can feel if it feels like really good information, something that maybe you could have thought of, but maybe you didn't, that's coming from, it's always going to feel like it's not going to be scary. It's going to be positive.
Yeah.
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 Then release that fear, because fear is a big, can be a big hindrance.
And you're bringing more of it in.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a scary ending.
Well, no,
No,
I
we
think
were
it's
talking about.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. No, we're releasing it. We're releasing it. We know here. I always go into it thinking the universe has our back. I
Yeah.
honestly believe that the universe
Yeah.
has our back. It's not saying things are
Absolutely.
going to be easy. It's not going to be pretty. We're going to have. I think Earth is like a day at an amusement park, right? Our experience here. You have it all planned out, you have the map, but it's not until the kids get on the ride and somebody throws up because they ate, and the line is too long, and exactly what you thought it was going to be isn't exactly what it was. But still, at the end of the day, you had you went on the rides. You had some really great experiences. You had somebody shouldn't have eaten the popcorn before they went on the twirly ride. It's a variety of these experiences, right? The universe has our back. And
Yeah.
we're going to have a variety of experiences. And if we can kind of look at it like that and say, okay, this is an experience and I'm okay.
Yeah. Sometimes we need to wear a raincoat while we're on those crazy rides.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
With
Mhm.
that, Cindy, thank you so much for coming on. This has been awesome.
It
It's
has
been
been, Danny.
fun.
I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Hollywood.
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 Yeah.
Woohoo. All right, everybody, make sure you please subscribe to Cindy's channel. She's great. She'll ruin your day.
Let me ruin things. Yeah.
The best ruin ever. All right. Thank you, everybody. Peace and love.